Jack Ma has slipped to fifth on the list of China's wealthiest after $20 billion was wiped off his fortune amid a government crackdown on his business empire. The Alibaba founder, who was targeted after he dared criticize China's financial regulators, is now worth an estimated $39.6 billion. Zhong, a journalist-turned-bottled water tycoon, is now top with a fortune estimated at $60.5 billion, according to the newly published year-end rich list. Ma has been keeping a low profile in recent months, but recently made his first trip abroad since the scandal erupted, holidaying in Spain and the Netherlands. The billionaire was pictured departing his yacht off the coast of Mallorca and taking a low-key walk through the streets of Santa Ponsa last week. He was then seen touring greenhouses in the Netherlands, with the South China Morning Post, which he owns, saying he was there to research agriculture technology as part of a personal visit. Alibaba shares rose 9% off the back of the news, along with reports that the company will produce a new kind of computer chip, though is still a far cry away from where it was before the crisis began. Ma has been beset by legal and financial woes ever since he spoke out against China's financial regulators in a speech in October 2020. It came ahead of the stock market launch of AntPay, Ma's financial technology firm that was set to shift power away from traditional banks. AntPay was due to hit the market with a value of $37 billion, the largest ever initial public offering, which would have cemented Ma's position as China's richest man. But, in the wake of the speech, the sale was suspended amid news that China's regulators were looking into the business, while Ma vanished for 3 months in an absence that has never been officially explained. Ma did finally reappear, in January the following year, only to see his Alibaba web store hit with a $2.8 billion fine for anti-competitive practices. AntPay was subsequently forced to restructure its business model to act more like a traditional bank, wiping out a huge portion of its value. Bloomberg now estimates the value of Alibaba Group Holding, an umbrella company that includes all of Ma's businesses, has dropped $344 billion in the last 12 months, in the biggest stock market plunge on record. By contrast, China's new richest man Zhong keeps a very low profile with almost nothing known about his private life. A school dropout who worked for a time as a construction worker, he went into journalism in 1983 where he covered agriculture for the Zhejiang Daily. After a 5-year stint at the paper, he began trying out various business ventures, including founding his own newspaper, growing mushrooms and selling curtains. He founded Yongsheng, a health company, in 1993 and then beverage brand Nongfu Spring in 1996. Yongxingtang later transformed into pharmaceutical firm Beijing Wantai, and Zhong's wealth is largely based on controlling stakes in Wantai and his water brand. Wantai, which developed a COVID test that was granted emergency approval in the US and is developing a vaccine, went public in April last year. That was followed by the $1 billion stock market debut of Nongfu in September, which brought Zhong to the world's attention. Both companies have increased substantially in value since, and Zhong's fortunes have swelled along with them. Pony Ma, boss of gaming giant and WeChat owner Tencent, dropped 2 spots to 4th as Chinese restrictions on video gaming reduced his fortune by 19%. Second place was taken by TikTok founder Zhong Yiming. The Huron Research Institute, which compiles the list, said that for the first time the real estate sector had no names in the top 10. The sector's biggest loser was Xu Jiayin, founder of deeply troubled property giant Evergrande Group. Xu had topped the list in 2017 and was 5th last year. But he has fallen to 70th with a nearly 70% reduction in his wealth to $11.3 billion, according to Huron. A liquidity crunch at Evergrande has hammered investor sentiment and rattled the country's crucial real estate market, while fanning fears of a possible contagion in the wider economy. Chinese authorities have told Xu to use his dwindling personal wealth to alleviate the embattled company's debt crisis, according to media reports this week. However, the overall number of individuals in China worth at least 2 billion yuan, $310 million, grew by 520 to a total of 2,918, Huron said. Growth in the electric vehicle market, in particular, fueled the rising fortunes of several entrepreneurs, according to the list.